First stage, to be charmed. Second stage, not to be charmed anymore. And the third stage. If you don't solve the phase of not being charmed anymore, then there are two options. If you don't solve it, each one will go to their corner, which is what usually happens when a couple reaches the apex of not being charmed anymore. They say, it's enough, each one in their own corner, I don't need to go through this. They become frustrated, and then they say, better alone than in bad company. Then they're not charmed at all, and each goes to their own corner. It is an unfortunate end, and you must pay attention to this, because you who are in the phase of not being charmed anymore and you're not solving your problems, this stage will lead you to your own corners. You will reach this point if you don't solve the problems. Then it comes the faith part. Often, you can't change alone, and you cannot because you are trying to change on your own. You must go to God. I had to go to God to change things that were rooted in me. Mannerisms of mine that were rooted in me. I'll tell her, this is my way. I will not change. In the moment of the fight, I will speak strongly. This is my way. You met me like this and I will not change. I was convicted because I thought I would not change. I saw no reason to change. I thought she was the problem. She was the one who had to accept me as I was. But I understood that my way was killing my marriage. So it was either my way, married to my way, or to be married to Christiane. I couldn't keep them both. So I decided to get rid of my way. And I asked God for help. I said to him, I must overcome myself, this anger, this pride. I'm quiet. I don't talk to her. I want to learn to communicate, to speak without fighting. I want to explain things to her in such a way that she understands me. Teach me how to be a husband. I ask God for help. So when you ask help, God is available. The problem is, often the person is not humble. They don't have humbleness and intelligence. Learn this. Humbleness and intelligence, they walk hand in hand. Pride and foolishness walk hand in hand too. Those who are humble, they tend to learn quicker. That's why they are more intelligent. The proud one, they resist. That's why they make many mistakes. It's not because they are not intelligent. It's that they make many foolish mistakes. They can be intelligent in their work, but in that area where they are proud, stubborn, there are CEOs, billionaires, so intelligent for their trade, but a failure for their family. Why? Because they are fools for their family. They don't use intelligence and humbleness for love as they used for their work. So go and solve that. Otherwise, we'll be each one in their own corner. And after getting divorced, you say, it didn't work because she was like this or he was like that. You will commit the same mistake that you were committing during marriage. You were pointing fingers to each other. The marriage ended and you keep doing it. It ended because he was terrible. She was terrible. Nothing changed. You will get into another relationship and the story repeats itself.
And you who are single, when you're getting to know someone, you have to check, to evaluate. Because if someone keeps on speaking about their previous relationship, then only speaking about the mistakes of the exes that they had, then there's something wrong. He's going to make the same mistakes with you as well. Because someone who is intelligent, even though you have been in a relationship where the other person may have betrayed you and were involved with wrong things that truly there was no way for you to be with that person. And what did you learn? Where was it that you also made the mistake? Because we have to have this understanding. You cannot leave and just say, I was the victim. I was the victim. I didn't make no mistakes. I know that for sure one mistake you have made because you married the wrong person. You chose the wrong person. Why did you choose the wrong person? Because it was a mistake that you made. You chose to get married to that person. And why did you choose, in the wrong way? Why did you make the wrong choice? Because maybe you're looking at the appearance. Maybe you didn't want to look deeper into the relationship. You didn't want to see the things that, were not right in that person or the relationship that they had with their parents. So it was a mistake that you made. So people need to understand and see the problems that they went through, and all problems in life that we go through in life. We have to know, what are those problems speaking about me? What is that problem in my financial life speaking about me? What can I learn with this for me not to commit the same mistake and for me not to go through the same mistake again?
Concluding. First stage, second stage, and if you don't solve it, each one in their own corner. Or if you go through the second stage successfully, you'll go to the third stage, which is a beautiful corner of love. When you reach the third stage, once you overcame that not being charmed anymore stage, then your marriage becomes a blessing. Finally, the couple start to live like a dance, that both bodies are moving as if they were one. When you see a couple dancing, professional dancers, they move as if they were one body. They know what the other will do, where the other will step, the direction that the other will take. They move as one. This is a marriage that goes through these stages. It is when true love comes about. It does not mean that you won't go through problems, that you disagree at some times, but that through these stages, you learned through maturity. The second stage of not being charmed anymore, so you learned to deal with a problem without fighting. So what are we going to do? This, and that. So you become a mature couple who know precisely what each one's objective is. Both want the same thing. I'm no longer the Renato of the first 12 years of marriage. She is not the Cristiane of the first 12 years of marriage. We are different people because we grew. I absorbed lots of things that she passed to me and vice versa. So we became very alike. So things flow with not much effort. And those who go through it, you understand what I'm saying.
In this phase here, we get to this passage in the Bible that is very known, which is 1 Corinthians 13. Love suffers long, as is kind. Love does not envy, and so forth. It's a love that is mature. It is more profound. It's deep. And it's not based on, little petty details. Oh, the towel, wet towel on top of the bed. Oh, and gets irritated and say, I hate you. No, those little petty things, it doesn't, change how you treat each other. It doesn't take you out of the mood of a couple. It doesn't take out. Because in those moments you have pleasure to please your husband and you please your wife. You have the pleasure to see them happy. You preserve your husband, you preserve your wife. She might not be good at this, so I'm going to do it. And maybe he may not be good in something else, and I'll do it. And she doesn't feel like a maid because she does it with love. And it doesn't cost anything. In a life when there is almost no fights because there's no reason for them to fight. Because they already know each other. He already knows what she doesn't like and she knows what he doesn't like, and you don't do it anymore. You don't stop doing it because you think, oh, because I can't do it. No, it's because that person truly, there's a motive because of it. And it's not good for me to speak to the opposite sex or be that person that doesn't give attention to that person, because you've changed that. You've already resolved that situation. So there is no reason for us to fight, to have arguments. There are problems that we go through that we start to get to know each other, and that's why we start to, to grow the love between us, because you only know that person when you have problems, situations, and you know how the person feels about you. And if she truly loves you, she will bear with it. She doesn't give up. But if the person doesn't love you, I'm leaving. I don't need this in my relationship, So the problem reveals truly what is going on. What type of relationship is this? Because if you don't have any problems, how are you going to know about it? If the person really loves you or not? Just because of what she says. To how many people did they say, I love her?
Now, do you know what stage you are in? And if you are single, you are ahead of many couples, because you will know that you will go through all these stages. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.